With August right around the corner and the postseason getting closer and closer, I thought it'd be a good time to drop a MLB team tier list. And we're going to be basing these rankings today off of 5 separate tiers starting top to bottom, going from World Series contender to playoff team to average to not great to bad. So pretty simple concept here. Now let's get right into the video. All right, so the first team we're going to be looking at today, we have the Yankees. They've honestly had a pretty bad season for their standards. AL East is loaded, and they're still, they have a winning record, but they're in last place in that division, so it's an uphill climb from here. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team. I think they're pretty much an average team this year. Seattle Mariners, they have gotten hot as of late. They're, I believe, 3 games over 500, and I'm a big believer in them. I think they're going to buy at the deadline, and I think they're going to go all in and go for a playoff push this year, and I think they are going to ultimately end up making the playoffs. Los Angeles Angels, obviously the recent news, they're keeping Shohei Ohtani at the deadline, which means they are going all in as well. They picked up Lucas Giolito, and it seems like they're going to try to keep Ohtani by making a postseason run this year. And while that's what they want, I don't think that's what they're going to get. The AL is just too good. I don't think the Angels are going to be in the postseason. I just think they're still an average team. Tampa Bay Rays, hottest team in baseball to start out the year. I mean, it wasn't even close. They were off to a historic start, but they have cooled off massively. They've been a pretty average team over the past 2 months. I still think their hot start is going to be good enough to get them to the postseason. I'm pretty close on this one. I want to give them the respect and put them in the World Series contender. I'll keep them up in the World Series contender category just because of how hot they were to start the season and what they're capable of. So obviously they're not very good right now, but I still think I got to give them respect and put them to the top. Toronto Blue Jays, this is another team who's right on the brink of the AL playoff race. To be honest, I don't really want them to make it, but I think they might. They're a very talented team. I think they're a lot better than their record shows. So this is a tough one, but I think they're just going to fall just short of the postseason. I think they're going to be a non-playoff team this year. I don't think they're necessarily an average team, but I don't think they're quite a playoff team. Miami Marlins, this is another team in the National League this time that is right in the brink of a postseason berth. They have been playing well all year. They're, in and out of the postseason, final postseason spot, it seems like every day. So, I'm going to give them the respect. I think they are a playoff team. I like their pitching staff. I think they're going to make some reinforcements at the deadline, and I think they are going to make the postseason in the National League. St. Louis Cardinals. This is our first not great team. They're, a lot of Cardinal fans would tell you that they're bad, and they are very bad this year, but still their roster I think is pretty good. They're just playing well below expectations, so I don't think they're a bad team, but they're definitely not even an average team, at least this year. Next up is the Houston Astros. And, as much as I really don't want them to make it because they make it every single year, they're going to be a playoff team this year, and I think they're going to make some noise when they get there. They're still one of the best teams top to bottom in baseball. Atlanta Braves, this is an absolute no-brainer. They're a World Series contender. Not much else needs to be said about them. They're the best team in baseball. Cleveland Guardians, this is one that's very tough because they're in the AL Central, weakest division in baseball by far. I ultimately think they're going to be a playoff team. I think they're going to beat out the Twins for the AL Central. I think they're going to get hot, and I think they're going to pick it up and play like they're capable of playing. Colorado Rockies, this is our first bad team. Being a Rockies fan firsthand, I just see night in and night out how bad and depressing the state of this team is, so I don't need to go into a whole rant here. They're just simply not a good team. Kansas City Royals, this is another bad team. They're, I believe, 30-75 on the season, so they're going to go well over 100 losses. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. is exciting, walk-off grand slam last night, so they have shown flashes of being a fun young team, but they are clearly not there yet. Milwaukee Brewers. This one is very close, similar to AL Central. Them and the Reds are eking it out for that division crown. It's going to be very close. I don't think they're going to make it this year. I think they're an average team. They have very good pitching, and Brandon Woodruff is coming back. That is going to help big time, and Devin Williams is locked down in the 9th inning, but I don't want to give it away here, but I think the Reds are going to win that division. So next up, we have the Twins. And obviously, you know by now, since I put Cleveland as a playoff team, I don't think the Twins are going to make the playoffs. I think they are an average team, pretty much the definition of average. I think they're going to finish probably 81-81. They have decent pitching, decent hitting, but nothing really stands out about them. Philadelphia Phillies. This is a team that I think is going to get hot. They've already gotten hot. They're a good team. I think they're going to make a deep postseason run this year, and while their record might not show it, I think they are a World Series contender. I really believe in the Phillies this year. Boston Red Sox. This is a team that is another team on the brink of the last AL wildcard spot. I think they're going to ultimately make the postseason. They have been really impressive. They've proved me and a lot of other people wrong this year. So, I mean, Tristan Casas has been on fire lately. Jarren Duran has been an unexpected leadoff man who's been one of the best in baseball. Guy gets on base, he's an immediate threat. Justin Turner, Rafael Devers, they've all been great. So I think the Red Sox are going to make the postseason. I have faith in them. Pittsburgh Pirates. They were a great fun story to start out the year, but they're just simply not a good team. I don't even think they're, in the not great category. I would say they're a bad team. I think they're going to sell off, and maybe a hot take here, but I think they could lose 100 games. I think they're going to have an awful second half. Detroit Tigers. This is a team that I would love to see make a run for the AL Central because it's so weak. I think they're like 7-8 games out, and they're a pretty fun young team, but I still don't think they're there just yet. They're still not a great baseball team, but I'd like to see them make a run, but I just don't see it happening. San Diego Padres, no doubt in my mind, they've played like a pretty bad team. I'm not going to say they're a playoff team right now. Would I be surprised if they made the postseason? No, because they're so talented. But I still think right now they're just playing like an average team. I don't think they're going to make that huge jump then over the next couple months and make the postseason. So I think they're going to be in the average tier as of right now. Texas Rangers. This is another team that, let's see. I'll put them in the World Series contender category. They're a really good offensive team, one of the best in baseball. They have gotten some pretty good pitching, so I got to give them respect. I think they're a World Series contender. Oakland A's, right down there with these other teams here. They are a very, very bad baseball team. They're the worst in baseball. They're going to lose probably 110 plus games. They're just not a good team at all. Baltimore Orioles. I think they are World Series contender. I don't want to put too many teams up here, but Orioles, they may be one of the best teams in baseball. They're definitely, I would say right now, the best team in the American League. They're on fire, and it seems like no one can beat them. So I think the Orioles absolutely are a World Series contender. San Francisco Giants. This is a team right on the brink of the National League wild card. I don't think they're going to make the postseason. They are definitely, I would say, exceeding expectations, but I just don't think they're going to be in the postseason this year. Dodgers, they're, of course, a good team. They're good every single year. I don't think they're quite a World Series contender anymore. I think they're going to make the postseason, most likely end up winning the NL West, but I'm not too sure of them as a solidified World Series contender as of right now. They've had lots of injuries. Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman are great, but I don't know. I'm just not all in on them this year. Arizona Diamondbacks. Pains me to do this because I really want them to make the playoffs, but I think they're just an average team, maybe above average, but I don't think they're quite a playoff team. They obviously been very good so far, but they've fallen off pretty hard lately, so I don't know. I just don't see them making the playoffs as much as I want it to happen. New York Mets. This is a team that is just not great, especially considering how high the expectations were. They have just been a very, very big disappointment. They're up there with the Padres as the worst, not the worst team, but the most underperforming team, I would say, in baseball. They have been really, really bad. Chicago White Sox. This is a team, I got to put them in the bad category. They are a really bad team. They're selling off every asset they have that is not named Luis Robert or Eloy Jimenez. So I think there's going to be a lot of trades done. They've already started to make some, so they're a bad team and they're going to get much worse. Chicago Cubs. They're on a 7-game winning streak, I believe. I really would like to see them make the postseason. I think they're a dark horse team who could make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make it because it is just such an uphill climb to pass all the teams that they have to pass, and there's so many teams in that race, and they got some ground to still make up, even though they are very hot. So really, really close to a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to make it. I think they're just going to miss out. Washington Nationals, this is another bad team. They've shown flashes of some potential. CJ Abrams seems like a very fun young player who's going to be good for a while. Same with Mackenzie Gore. I can see sort of the light at the end of the tunnel here. They're not going to be very bad for very long, but right now they still are a very bad team. And last, we have the Cincinnati Reds, who I have as a playoff team this year. I think they're going to go all in. I think they're going to make moves at the deadline to enhance their offense, their pitching staff. They're going to get some arms to help out Alexis Diaz and to set up the 9th inning. So Reds are arguably the most fun team in baseball, and I think they're a playoff team. And now that I'm done recording, I realized I put 7 American League teams in the postseason and only 5 in the National League. So we're going to replace the Red Sox with the Giants. So the Giants are going to make the postseason and the Red Sox are not. All right, so there you have my team tier list heading into August. Let me know what you guys think down below. As always, I want to thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.